You know, sometimes the biggest stories aren't splashed across the headlines. They're hidden in the data. And today, we're going to look at just one type of home loan in Japan that, believe it or not, tells a fascinating story about the entire country, its economy, its people, and maybe, just maybe, its future. Okay, let's get into it.
It seems like such a dry topic, right? A financial product. But what we're about to see is that the answer to this question is a whole lot. The numbers behind this one loan are painting a picture of some really profound changes happening right now.
So at the very heart of this story is something called the Flat 35. You can kind of think of it as the go-to reliable choice for a ton of Japanese home buyers. And the name really says it all. It gives you a flat, fixed interest rate for up to 35 years. It's all about stability.
But that predictability, that stability, is exactly what makes the latest data so shocking. Analysts are actually using the term seismic shift, that's jiga kohendo in Japanese, to describe what's going on. It's like the very ground under the housing market is moving.
We're really seeing two huge shifts happening at once. The first one is all about what people are buying, and it completely flips a long-standing trend on its head in a really dramatic way.
For decades in Japan, it was no contest. New homes were king. The dream was to build from the ground up. But look at this. For the very first time, buying a used home is just as popular as building a new one. They are now neck and neck. I mean, we're talking about 1/10 of a percentage point separating them. That's crazy. And get this. This change didn't just creep up on us. It happened fast. Just 12 months ago, building new was the undisputed champion, with over 44% of the market share. To see a drop of almost 10 points in a single year, that's not a trend. That's a tectonic shift for a market this big. So you have to ask, what's driving this? Well, it's pretty much pure economics. The cost of everything, lumber, steel, you name it, it's skyrocketed. And so has the cost of labor. That dream of building a brand new home is just getting too expensive for a lot of people. So instead, they're making a really practical choice. Buy an older, cheaper home and use the money they save to renovate and make it their own. Okay, now for the second huge shift, which adds this whole other layer to the story. It's not just what people are buying that's changing, it's who is doing the buying. The actual profile of the typical Japanese homebuyer is changing right before our eyes. I mean, just look at this. This is a massive demographic shift. For the past decade, people in their 30s were the absolute core of the housing market. Now, for the first time, their share has actually dipped below 30%. And at the same time, look at the other side of the chart. Borrowers in their 50s, and especially their 60s, are becoming a real force. And this number says it all. The average age of someone taking out one of these loans has now hit 44 and a half. And it's not a fluke. It's been climbing steadily every single year. And here's the fastest growing group of them all, home buyers who are 60 and older. Their piece of the pie has grown for 5 years straight, which of course raises a really fascinating question. Why on earth would someone in their 60s take out a 35-year loan? Well, the answer is actually deeply cultural. They are building what's known in Japan as their tsui no sumika, their final home. Think about it. The kids are grown, they've left the nest, and there are retirement funds available to use as a down payment. They can finally build that dream house they've always wanted. And here's the real twist. It's this older group, not the younger buyers, who are now the most likely to build a brand new custom home.
But why this specific loan? Why is the Flat 35 so perfect for them? It isn't just about fulfilling a lifelong dream. There's a very practical reason. Unlike most private bank loans, the Flat 35 makes group credit life insurance, called danshin, optional. And that is a huge deal. It means that older buyers, who might get turned down for a private loan because of their age or health, can still get approved for this one.
So let's just zoom out for a second. We've got this shift toward used homes because of costs, and this other shift towards older buyers because of their dreams and some very smart loan features. So what does it all mean when you put it together?
It tells us that when the economy feels uncertain, people run towards stability. Japan's central bank has been hinting that its long era of super low, even negative interest rates is coming to an end. That makes people really nervous about loans where the rate can go up. So what do? They're rushing to lock in a predictable, fixed rate with the Flat 35. and applications are surging.
Ultimately, this one little loan program has become a perfect mirror for modern Japan. It reflects all the economic pressures on younger people, pushing them towards used homes. And it reflects the dreams and the financial power of an older generation who are finally building their forever homes. It's the whole story wrapped up in one financial product.
And that leads us to a final, really big question. Japan is often seen as being a few decades ahead of the curve when it comes to demographic trends like an aging population. So are the shifts we're seeing, this move from new to used, from young to old, is this just a uniquely Japanese story, or are we actually looking at a preview of what's to come for housing markets all around the world?